Thank you, Ambassador Danon, Judge Rubenstein, Mr. Sandberg, and all the students here today who are on the front lines of this battle. We are calling this special summit Ambassadors Against BDS. And a location for this conference is no accident. The United Nations was created 70 years ago on the carnage of World War II. It was created on the broken bones of the Jewish people with the pledge that the world would never see again the kind of human destruction that the Nazis forced on our people. But now, just 70 years later, this organization, of all places, has singled out the only Jewish state in the world, Israel, with lie after lie after lie. So it's no accident that we chose to look at an equally dishonest campaign against the Jews, the BDS movement, right here in the United Nations. But there is something that has changed in the last 70 years. We have changed. The era of the quiet Jew, the timid Jew, the ghetto Jew is long over. Those tough leaders of the early Zionist movement buried that Jew 3 generations ago. We are no longer victims. We no longer have to rely on others to protect us. And we are absolutely done being quiet. Enough is enough. I want to begin with a thought that may surprise you. I actually understand the popularity of BDS. The political boycott makes you feel good. Any political boycott. It makes you feel important. It makes you part of the group. And who doesn't want to be part of the group, especially when you think you are doing good for mankind, like standing up against tyranny or fighting oppression? Because when you are standing up to injustice, you are standing with Martin Luther King, Abraham Lincoln, even Moses. That's very seductive, especially when you are joined by beautiful celebrities, famous rock stars, and your favorite professors. That explains why people as different as British journalists and freshmen at NYU are part of the BDS movement. But I really wonder if these people who support BDS have the slightest understanding what the movement really means. Those BDS protesters who join marches on campus and chant, "From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." I wonder if they realize that the river is the Jordan and the sea is the Mediterranean. These activists are really calling for the destruction of the state of Israel. And the campus groups, such as Justice for Palestine and the Muslim Student Association, have their roots with the Muslim Brotherhood. The same Muslim Brotherhood that believes that the Quran should be the basis for every government, including our own. BDS is built on lies, nasty, anti-Jewish lies, that puts everyone connected to BDS in some very bad company. The plain truth is that today's boycott against the state of Israel is no different from Henry Ford's anti-Semitism in the 1920s or the Soviet bloc's anti-Zionism of the 1950s and 60s. So when you march with BDS, you are marching with some really bad people, anti-Semites. There's no other way to explain why Israel, the only country in the Middle East where all religions live together, is called by some people the apartheid state. Israel is the only country in the region where the Christian population is growing, not shrinking. Israel is the only country in the region where gay people march with pride and homosexuality is not a crime, and where women enjoy equal rights in Israel. 500,000 dead in Syria and Iraq, and Israel is charged with crimes against humanity? We see no boycotts against North Korea, Sudan, and Iran. Only Israel. Only Israel. Make no mistake, the BDS movement doesn't support the Palestine people. It is strictly a campaign to delegitimize Israel, which is simply the latest attempt to deny the Jewish people the right of self-determination. Every other people on earth have the right, but BDS wants to deny that right, that basic right, to Jews. Do the British have a right to Britain? Do the French have a right to France? Do the Germans have a right to Germany? Well, before there was a Great Britain, or France, or Germany, there was a Jewish kingdom in the land of Judea, with a This Jewish kingdom had a king and a temple with laws and a Torah. If anyone doubts that, there is a pretty strong historic backup in the best-selling book of all time. It's called the Bible. When someone says the Jewish state of Israel is not legitimate, that is one of the biggest lies of all time. And please, when someone says they are not anti-Semitic, only anti-Israel, let's just end that charade once and for all. Because guess what? They actually are anti-Semitic. So how will we fight BDS? We won't make up lies like they do. We'll tell the truth. But we're going to tell the truth in a very aggressive way. The World Jewish Congress will commit all of our resources and all of our abilities to help to fight BDS. We are doing this differently than before. No college campus would allow racist or homophobic hate speech to go unanswered. So we will place ads in every key newspaper and all across the internet, telling students to report any kind of pro-BDS and anti-Semitic activity at their school. We even have a new email for this. I'd like you all to please take out your smartphones and write it down. For those of you under 40. It's campus at World Jewish Congress is one word, .org. Once again, it's campus at worldjewishcongress.org. If your school or your professor is backing BDS in a public way, contact us at worldjewishcongress.org. And if you have any suggestions, or if there's any way that we can help you fight the battle, please contact us. My team and I will read your emails. Please keep them short. And will help you fight back. We are going also to remind alumni what's going on in their alma maters. And we'll urge them to stop any donations until their schools clean up their mess. We're also taking the legal route. The World Jewish Congress is sponsoring counter lawsuits and legislation because there are laws against discrimination. You'll hear more about that today. The lawyers will tell us, and you will see, how they're successfully defeating BDS in court. The World Jewish Congress will create a platform for sharing, coordinating, and synchronizing efforts against the BDS movement. And the World Jewish Congress will fund and support the anti-BDS forces and help them in their work. We are here to help all of you. You are not alone. That's why it's so important that so many students are here today. I said earlier that all of you are on the front lines of this battle. I see you in the same way as I see the IDF soldiers who are defending the state of Israel. You're just engaged on a different battlefield, one that is no less critical. This also gives you a chance to be part of something greater than yourself. It gives you a chance to stand for something that is vital as anything you'll ever do in your life. You will have the honor of defending your people. This is one more part of the fight that changes today. From now on, we celebrate Israel as we are going to go and be loud about it. This is one of the most remarkable countries on earth, and that is what we will tell the world. And we're going to thank the millions of supporters of the State of Israel. I don't want to hear about the rock stars that won't play in Israel. Instead, let's talk about Bruce Springsteen, Paul McCartney, Justice Timberlake, Lady Gaga, Louis C.K. 5 nights ago, Elton John dedicated your song to the State of Israel in Tel Aviv. And when someone like Mick Jagger was told not to play in Israel, the Rolling Stones answered with not one, but 2 concerts in Tel Aviv. So Mick Jagger is not just a rock star, he is a mensch. The brilliant Jewish reggae star, Yahu, is here today. And this gives me the opportunity to explain how we fight BDS at the World Jewish Congress. Last summer, Yahu was kicked out of the music festival in Spain because he would not condemn Israel. I contacted the Prime Minister, the Spanish Prime Minister, and explained why this was so outrageous. And lo and behold, the very next day, after the letter was delivered, Yahu called me to say he had been re-invited. The point here is that world leaders do respond to truth, logic, and strong language. These are the rock stars we will stand by, and we will stand by the hundreds of thousands of people of all religions who visit Israel and have a fabulous time. We will stand by the wonderful Christians who support Israel. We will stand by the young people, like all of you, who fight the bullies on campus, and the amazing lone soldiers who leave the safety of their homes and their families to defend the Jewish state. We are proud of all of you, and bottom line, Israel is a fabulous country, a brilliant, caring, decent country, an amazing country, and that's the truth, period. End of story. You may find this hard to believe, but it wasn't that long ago that I was a student, just like you. And when I wanted to raise my voice for Israel on my campus and stand up for the Jewish people, back then, that wasn't considered very cool. But there's one big difference between me and you. I didn't know there was an organization like the World Jewish Congress out there that would back me up. And there weren't any Jewish leaders that really cared about what students faced or what they were thinking. So know this, I understand your pain. I know what you're up against, and I promise you that I will read every single letter and email that comes across my desk. I am with you, I care about you, and I want to win this struggle more than you'll ever know. I want to end today with remembrance. Yesterday was Memorial Day here in the United States, and 2 weeks ago, Israel held its Memorial Day. Both countries stopped to remember young men and women, no older than many of you in this room, who gave their lives so all of us could be free. They gave their lives so that we would live from Valley Forge to Iwo Jima to the liberation of camps, from Jerusalem to Sinai to Entebbe. These young men and women demonstrated bravery and self-sacrifice. The very least we can give them in return is to deal in truth and to fight the lies that undermine us all. God bless their memories. God bless you. And may God continue to bless the United States of America and the Jewish state of Israel. Thank you.